So, we all like big man tag team matches, right? Sometimes. I mean, the Survivor Series matches every year are pretty hit or miss, but hey, the craziness of that WrestleMania Showcase match this year was pretty awesome as well. Back then in 2016, we had so many darlings of the indie scene that would eventually, within a year or two, would be some of the biggest names of pro wrestling ever. Star-studded is to put it lightly for the subject of today's tag team match. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla was always known for being one of the biggest and craziest spot fest companies for so many years before it inevitably died down. But this match from 2016's Battle of Los Angeles Night 3, which took place on September 4, 2016 at the American Legion Post in Reseda, California. Our 10-man tag team match consists of Team Liger, headed by Jushin Thunder Liger, Cedric Alexander, Chuck Taylor, Jeff Cobb, and Tommy End, up against Team Ciampa, which is obviously captained by Tommaso Ciampa, and supporting him is Brian Kendrick, Matthew Riddle, Pete Dunne, and the Space Cat Sami Callihan. And this is possibly one of the most absurd and just batshit insane wrestling matches I've ever come across. We open up our matchup and everyone just starts chanting for Brian Kendrick. How well that is dated. It goes on for a while too. I honestly don't know why Callihan has the mask, but their official tag team name is the Bro Cat Psycho Kitties, and Jushin's team is just Team Liger, even though Team Thunder Friends would have been a great name for them. Tommaso Ciampa and Chuck Taylor will start out our matchup.
Brother Justin, I knew you'd come!
Chucky says some very sus things in response.
You try to stick your thumb on my ass, I swear to God.
What a threat. From what I hear from the commentators, I guess Taylor got a thumb in his ass in 2014 and 2015 in both 10-man matches. I guess that was Chuck's famous rivalry in PWG. Taylor goes for a moonsault but lands on his feet and then gets a drop toe hold into the middle turnbuckle. Tommaso Ciampa pulls Chuck Taylor up and puts his head under the turnbuckle, and then Ciampa looks to put a thumb up Taylor's ass for the third time in a row. Jushin Liger tries to save his teammate by...
Don't do that.
Liger presents his ass for Ciampa and continues slapping. Jushin is about to sacrifice his booty cheeks to save Chucky. Ciampa tries to stick it up, but he says,
Conchoed once or twice in his life.
Sure. When he was a young boy.
Yeah.
Jushin is furious and basically demands Ciampa.
Come on, Mark! Asshole!
Honestly, gotta admire the tenacity. Ciampa goes to lollipop Liger, but Liger's got the iron anus.
The legendary asshole of Jushin Thunder Liger!
Tommy End then comes into the ring and sticks a thumb up Ciampa, but here comes Space Cat. Then Cedric greases up the old fastball into Callihan, and Riddle then puppets Cedric.
Olympic thumb in the ass!
From Jeff Cobb. Brian Kendrick does a little spin and then pincushions Cobb. Taylor and Dunn casually stick a thumb up their opponents. At least Dunn is safe. Jushin Liger starts the asshole train and starts parading the human centipede around the ring into a 9-man hip toss to an absolute crowd ovation as Liger poses in the ring. Liger has concrete cheeks, according to the commentators. Ciampa gets into the ring and pushes Liger, and then Liger pulls out a remote. Tommaso Ciampa tries to punch Jushin Thunder Liger, but the remote stops Tommaso Ciampa in time. Jushin presses the remote again, and everything goes in slow motion, including the commentators, and including the crowd. Jushin smacks Ciampa down, and then Space Cat tries to get his shit in, but Liger palms him right in the mush. Riddle looks to take down the legend, but he gets a slow-mo slap as well. Kendrick eats one to the chin, and Dunn isn't quick enough to avoid Liger. Team Thunder buddies all crowd in the ring for a pre-victory celebration. Liger gets put down from End and Cedric's shoulder, and then he presses the remote again, and Tommy End delivers a tope con hilo to the outside, and soon after, so does Cedric Alexander and Chucky T. Jushin Liger gives a cannonball senton to the floor, and the Islander takes down the singlet strap and looks to deliver a dive, but Ciampa is there to stop him in time. Tommaso Ciampa wants to climb the turnbuckle, but he's afraid of heights. Ciampa struggles to climb for a second before Ciampa looks at all of his opponents, and then he starts singing. Jeff Cobb cuts him off, and Ciampa looks to do it again. Ciampa climbs to the top rope, jumps into the ring, and delivers a splash, but it's only a 2 count. Chucky T with soul food on Ciampa, Space Cat with cranial contusion on Chuck, Jeff Cobb counters and delivers a gut wrench German, and then sends him off to the ropes for the tour of the islands. Kendrick hits a boot on Cobb and then hits sliced bread number 2. Cedric Alexander with the lumbar check onto Brian Kendrick. Riddle with the bicycle knee onto Cedric Alexander. Tommy M with the slide hits the faded black on Riddle, and as he goes for a roundhouse, Pete Dunne's able to hit the bitter end on Tommy N. And then finally, Jushin Liger runs in with the slap chop and gets the win for his team with a big brainbuster for the 3 count. I love how the last part of this match was just pure wrestling as well. The first parts of the matchup was just pure insanity. You got any more sus wrestling matches or wrestling oddities that you can think of? Comment down below.